Hey guys, so in this video, I walk you through this lead magnet campaign I'm running currently that booked me 6 meetings in just 4 days. I walk you through the offer, the email copy, and the exact Clay workflow to set this up. For those who don't know me, I'm Ike. I'm running a 5-figure per month Clay and cold email agency. And yeah, I'd say let's jump right in. So why is this campaign working so good? The offer is just super, super strong. So what I'm offering them is a lead magnet. And the lead magnet is a list of every verified email of every person who engaged with their LinkedIn post. So everyone who liked or commented under their LinkedIn post. And I give them a Google Sheet with all these contacts. And why is this so valuable? Because so the rule I'm following here is I want it to be worth at least $50 plus in value. And it's so valuable to them because these are leads with really high buying intent. So let's say you run an e-commerce agency and e-commerce store owners like or comment under your post. Those would be an ideal ICP, plus they show buying intent by engaging with your LinkedIn content. So the next part of this is now we have this killer offer, the email copy and the testing framework. So let's jump into one of those campaigns. So this is the first one I ran as a test, and then I scaled it up. And the testing framework is pretty simple. So super relevant headline. I like your LinkedIn post. And then what I do is I test 5 different variations here with different copy angles. So let's read through the first email together. I read your post about LinkedIn posts, and this is the personalized part, and I can show you how this looks like a copy. About UK's theme park awards excitement, whatever they posted about, it will show up here in like 3, 4, 5 words. And this is the personalization part. And I show you in the Clay workflow how I set this up. And then we just drop the offer and a short CTA. So really straightforward. The next email is even shorter. I just say, hey, I read your post. Here's what I have. Do you want it? Super straight to the point. And then I tested different variations. This is like a bit more kind of a humor version. Just testing something different, kind of a frame breaker in the copy. This one is with a case study. So I just show, I just drop a case study to see how valuable this is. And then this one is like longer version. That's it basically. So that's what I'm testing here. Interestingly, all of them performed equally well. So except the last one, but I mean, we only sent 62 emails. But same for the other campaigns I ran, all of them performed pretty much the same. And then we have one follow-up, that's not too important, we just say the same thing again. And then the breakup, I just asked them, hey, should I send this to someone else on the team? This is the last email, the breakup email. So yeah, that's the copy part. So pretty straightforward. And the real magic happens inside Clay, where we built this out. So the questions here, how do we get people that posted currently? And then also, how do we deliver this lead magnet? And I walk you through both Clay workflows and how to set this up. Right, so the first part of the workflow is how do we build the lead list with people with a current LinkedIn post. So let's go into this workflow. And basically what we do is on the persona level, we want to check if they posted a LinkedIn post in the last 90 days, and then we check if enough people engaged with them, with the LinkedIn post. So if they posted like 2 years ago, we don't want to reach out to them and tell them, hey, I scraped the people from 2 years ago, so that's not super relevant. And then also, if only 2 people engaged, we don't want to reach out and say, hey, I got the 2 emails from the people who engaged with your post. So not super relevant. So that's why we do this. So here we have a standard lead list, basically scraped from Apollo. We have all the emails here. If we don't have the email, we find the work email, and then we validate the work email using Lead Magic and ICPs. And then what we do is basically first thing I do is I check if they're hiring salespeople. That's for another campaign. And then what I do is I run an Apify actor. And let's go in here. So what this Apify actor does is it returns the latest LinkedIn post they published. So the LinkedIn scraper is called LinkedIn profile posts, and this is how to set it up. So you can just go into Apify, and go in there and set it up, and then copy paste it over. And then what we're gonna do is we let this run. So let me filter. All right, so oops, that's wrong. That shouldn't be. So let's check this again. Ba, ba, ba. Let's do it here. All right. So okay, so now we have the results here. So this is when the Apify actor ran and found their last LinkedIn post. So let's see how this looks like. So we get one result, and it returns basically all the information about the LinkedIn post in here. So the content, comments, it shows how many people engaged, so how many likes it got, how many shares, and all the information relevant to us. And then what we do is we map this out here. So we have the LinkedIn post URL, we have the content, and then we have the number of comments and likes and the publish date. And now what we want to do is we write this formula here to output true if they publish the post in the last 90 days. So that's our one criteria in order to send them the email and the lead magnet. If it's older, we don't want it. And this is basically how I wrote the formula. It's just output true if the publish date was in the last 90 days, else output false. And then you see here are the trues. And then the second check we want to do is the LinkedIn engagement. So what I'm saying, output true if likes or comments is bigger than 10, else output false. So this way we only get posts that were posted in the last 90 days and have high engagement. And then the last formula is basically combining those two. So saying output true if published in the last 90 days is true and high engagement is true, else output false. And now what I can do is, okay, now I can personalize this. So because we have all the LinkedIn content from all the posts here, I can write a prompt that personalizes the outreach. That's what you saw in the copy. That was this part here, the LinkedIn post snippet, basically. So when we go in the prompt, it's pretty straightforward. We just tell it, hey, look at the content, and then write a 3 to 8 word phrase that sounds naturally. So this is the whole prompt. I generate those with ChatGPT usually, and then iterate until it's good to go. And they are okay. I mean, they're not too bad, the results. So it kind of works. And then the good thing is we have the true here, and that's why I always do this. I map out this true here, and then I can later, when we send this into a campaign, and it's right here, I can just say, hey, only run this if LinkedIn lead magnet is true and the email exists. So that's it. So now we have the copy, we have the strong offer, we have all the leads in the campaign. The last question is how do we actually deliver this lead magnet? And that's a real challenge to do at scale. A, because it's expensive to do, but B, we need to kind of automate this a little bit. We don't want to do this manually. And that's where Clay comes to play again. So let me show you how to build this inside Clay. So here we have the lead magnet delivery. And what we do is we basically, through a webhook, we send in the LinkedIn post. So here we go. We have like a workflow inside Make that scrapes the LinkedIn post and all the engages. That's another Apify actor. Let me show you how this looks like. All right. So we have this make.com workflow, and I do this manually for now, but I want to automate this completely. So what I go, let's say someone replies and they want a LinkedIn lead magnet. I go in this workflow, I put in the LinkedIn post URL and the lead name. And then we run the Apify actor. So that's the LinkedIn post reaction scraper. And then it scrapes the LinkedIn post and all the engages. Then we let it sleep for 60 seconds, and then we get a data set from Apify. And now it returns all the people who engaged. And then we send it into our Clay workflow I just showed. So this is what is arriving here. You see all these are people who engaged with a post. So here, you see all the engages. And then this is the lead. And then what we want to do is we find the email from those people. So we only have the LinkedIn profile. So how do we find the email from someone if we only have the LinkedIn profile? First step is we need to enrich the LinkedIn profile. We need the company LinkedIn, the company name, their first name, and then their full name. That's what we are doing here. And then one problem is we also need the website to find the email. So we enrich the company further to get the website. And then what we're going to do is we just let our email waterfall run to find the work email. And I don't want to spend too much money on here, so I only use these two data providers that are most cost efficient, which is ICPs and LeadMagic. Now we have the work email here. We validate the work email, and then we have the lead. And then it's still manual, but then I just export this list and send the list to them as a Google Sheet. And that's it basically. And then often I get the question what to do when you hand off like the lead magnet. What I do is I tell them, hey, here's the lead magnet, and then I tell them basically if you want to contact people at scale and get more of these high intent leads, happy to schedule a call. So that's the call to action. That's part one. And then I have a nurture sequence, which is like 5 to 8 steps, depending on the lead, where I front load more social proof and show some case studies, drop some other lead magnets, and then with the final goal of getting them on a call. Yeah, so that's basically the whole workflow. So the offer, the email, and then the Clay workflow. If you found this valuable, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and see you in the next video.